So now we pick up from chapter 4 of part 10 of Seth Speaks, the nature of personal reality. Let's begin. Nature then became an adversary that he must control. Yet underneath he felt that he was at the mercy of nature because in cutting himself off from it, he also cut himself off from using many of his own abilities. It was at this point that the nature of the conscious mind itself became so misunderstood, and those unrecognized or denied powers were assigned to the unconscious portions of the self by ensuing schools of psychology. Very natural functions of the conscious mind, therefore, were assigned to the underground and cut off from normal use. Here Seth says to Jane, "Now you may take your break." It's 10:29 p.m. Jane had been very well dissociated, with her delivery intense and often fast. She shook her head as she came out of trance. Wow, was he ever going strong? Boy, I didn't have the slightest idea of what he was going to talk about tonight. But then I saw he had one whole block of stuff to get through before he gave us any break. Robert Butt's note says, resume in the same active manner at 10:40 p.m. Seth says, now, resume dictation, then I will have a remark to make. Robert Butts replies, okay. Give us a moment because the conscious mind has been so stressed while stripped of its many characteristics. There's now an overreaction occurring in which normal consciousness is being put down. Colloquially speaking, emotion and imagination are being considered as far superior. The displaced powers of consciousness are still being assigned to the unconscious, and great efforts are being made to reach what seem to be normally inaccessible areas of awareness. To this end, drugs are utilized, cults set up, and there are methods and training manuals galore. Period. Yet, there is nothing basically inaccessible about such inner knowledge or experience. It can all be quite conscious and utilized to enrich the reality that you know. The conscious mind is not some prodigal child or poor relative of the self. It can quite freely focus into inner reality when you understand that it can. You, again, have a conscious mind. You can change the focus of your own consciousness. There have been tyrannies propagated for various reasons by the race of man upon itself. One of the greatest, however, is the idea that the conscious mind does not have any touch with the fountains of its own being, that it is divorced from nature, and that the individual is therefore at the mercy of unconscious drives over which he has no control. Man, therefore, feels himself powerless. If the purpose of civilization is to enable the individual to live in peace, joy, security, and abundance, then that idea has served him poorly. When a man or woman feels no connection between personal reality and experience and the surrounding world, then he or she loses even an animal's sense of pure competence and belonging. Your beliefs, once more, form your reality, shaping your life and all of its conditions. All of the powers of your inner self are set into activation as a result of your conscious beliefs. You have lost the sense of responsibility for your conscious thought because you have been taught that it is not what forms your life. You have been told that regardless of your beliefs, you are terrorized by unconscious conditioning. The whole following sentence to be underlined. And as long as you hold that conscious belief, you will experience it as reality. Here are Robert Butt's notes All through these pages, Jane's delivery was most absorbed and energetic. I easily felt Seth staring at me through her wide open eyes. Seth says, "Some of your beliefs originated in your childhood, but you are not at their mercy unless you believe that you are. Because your imagination follows your beliefs, you can find yourself in a vicious circle in which you constantly paint pictures in your mind that reinforce negative aspects in your life." This is the end of part 10 of Seth Speaks, The Nature of Personal Reality. Let's talk about it. So, in this passage, Seth is conveying several key ideas. One is the struggle to control nature. The passage suggests that humans have historically seen nature as an adversary that must be controlled. However, in attempting to separate themselves from nature, individuals also limit their own abilities. Number 2 is misunderstanding of the conscious mind, which I see quite a bit in today's world. Seth argues that the conscious mind has been misunderstood, with many of its functions assigned to the unconscious mind by schools of psychology. This disconnect from the conscious mind has led to an overemphasis on emotions and imagination. Number 3 is overreaction in consciousness. Again, I see this quite often in this period in human history. Here, Seth describes an overreaction in which normal consciousness is being devalued and emotions and imagination are considered superior. Here I can see people trying to access inaccessible areas of awareness through methods like drugs and cults, and of course, much more. Number 4, the power of the conscious mind. Seth emphasizes that the conscious mind is not divorced from nature or the self, and individuals can consciously focus on inner reality and change the focus of their consciousness. Number 5, tyrannies of belief. Seth suggests that the belief that the conscious mind is divorced from nature and under the control of unconscious drives, as we can see in today's world, has led to a sense of powerlessness in individuals. Number 6 is the role of beliefs. Seth stresses that beliefs shape an individual's reality and experiences. This is very important. Beliefs, both conscious and unconscious, play a significant role in a person's life. Next is responsibility for conscious thought. The passage argues that individuals have been taught to believe that they are controlled by unconscious conditioning and that their conscious thoughts have little impact. And I'm sure many of us can see in this world and this period in human history that as long as this belief persists, it will be experienced as reality. So all in all, in conclusion, Seth is highlighting the interconnectedness of the conscious mind with nature and the self, the misinterpretation of the conscious mind's functions, the consequences of misplaced emphasis on emotions and imagination, and the power of beliefs in shaping one's reality. He also encourages us to take responsibility for our conscious thoughts and beliefs. Be vigilant. Pay attention to your thoughts. Choose thoughts that serve you, because thoughts become reality. If you've enjoyed this passage, please consider giving it a like, sharing with a friend, and of course, subscribing for more. What did you think about this powerful passage? Please leave it in the comments below. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you free wolves for having minds that are willing to explore the possibilities of what is what is not, and what could be. Thank you once again. I'm Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Thank you.